Hello my scrappy friends and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman here with you for Cut to You and happy International Scrapbooking Day. So, over at Cut to You we are having a fun little thing happening. We're scrap lifting each other from the design team. I have been tasked with scrap lifting Mel. She's brand new to the design team, so it was super fun to go and browse her gallery of layouts and find something to scrap lift. I showed you right at the beginning the layout that I was lifting, and so I'm jumping straight into that. I'm using the Tracy Reed Designs beautiful Dreamer collection. It is a $5 sampler in the store, and I am pairing that with some cut files that I printed on a laser printer, and I have gold foiled. They are called the flower, bud and leaf cut file, and I will link up in the top to the video where I first showed those. It was a little while ago, and I had these ones left over, so I thought I would play with them. In Mel's layout, there was a photo that was fairly central, and then on the right hand side of the central line was 3 layers of torn pattern paper. On the left hand side of the papers there was all this fun mixed media, not tons and tons of it, but there was definitely some texture paste, some like watercolor in the background, some stamping. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm working on some smooth, thick white cardstock. Isn't that beautiful? That is the Vicky Booten Iridescent Glaze with the Tim Holtz stencil. I'm scrap lifting a photo of myself, and I wanted to get a colour fairly close to the pink in the Beautiful Dreamer collection, so I'm using 2 distress oxides, which I played with off camera. One is saltwater taffy and the other is tattered rose. I've got them on this piece of acetate here. I'm going to wet them, mix the colours together a bit, and then do the good old packaging technique. I'm going to smush the colour straight down over the top of where that iridescent glaze is, and then I can, while that's drying, I can buff the wet ink off of the paste. So you can see I'm not being super precise on where that's landing or anything, and you can see that's coming straight off, which is awesome. I do dry off my layers in between just to make sure they are thoroughly dry. Coming in here with the second layer, using my paintbrush, adding some water, and just getting some colour onto the page without it being too much. So yeah, I think this layout turns out really pretty. I'm really happy with it. You can see I'm drying that off there. I'm going to add some stamping. I'm using Faded Jeans Archival Distress ink. It is an archival ink in the distress colours, and this texture stamp. Now I also add some splatters, which you'll see, which I do not like, but thankfully I cover them up. Makes me happy. So I'm going back in again and just cleaning off as much as I can of that ink off of the iridescent glaze. And here I go with the splatters. Like I said, Faded Jeans, Distress Oxide Spray. I'm going to add a tiny bit of water, little tiny paintbrush. Get some little splatters up the top there, which I'm really happy with. And then those ones in the middle, you can see they've all just like blurred. I'm like, no! Thumbs down. I'm like, no, that's not okay. I don't like it. These are the 3 pattern papers that I've picked out. I printed those 3 to a 12 by 12 textured cardstock, so they're like 4 inches wide each. And you can see I'm just tearing the right hand edge where I think I want it, just layering them up, and I'm going to just make sure that I'm happy with the way they're looking with that photo. And right at the beginning I actually used a pencil and marked the halfway point on that layout vertically. I'm going to add this layer behind my photo, and I also decided to add this fun pom-pom ribbon to that top layer, and you can see I've stitched that down as well. I love how that looks. Just adding, so I'm going to add my 3 layers, and I'm just making sure that I'm adding glue to the left hand edge on all 3 papers so that I can tuck them under, and it also gives me the flexibility to lift and tuck other things in between. Sorry if you can hear that rain, it's just started. I feel like we've completely missed autumn and gone straight into winter. It's bizarre. Sorry for my fat head. Alright, so I'm just getting those 3 layers in there. So, it is International Scrapbooking Day weekend. I think we should just have a whole month. But anyway, what are you doing to celebrate? Are you doing anything, or are you at work, or are you just sneaking some time in where you can? Any challenges you're playing along with? Anything I should know about? Sales and all those kinds of fun things. Yeah. So our whole design team are scraplifting each other this weekend. So make sure I think it's going to be on the blog, but it's also in the Cut to You HQ group. So make sure you check it all out there. I've seen a few of the layouts that have been created, and they're fabulous. Scraplifting is one of my favourite things to do. There's so much inspiration out there. And you can take something that is completely not your style and make it your own as well. So, for example, something that is really neat and straight-lined and not messy at all, I can definitely find inspiration in that to create a messy mixed media layout. Hint, hint, stay tuned. I was so inspired by scraplifting, I may have another video coming. Anyway, so here are my foiled cut files. I did hand cut these ones with scissors after they were foiled, because I didn't have the best luck foiling and getting it all to cooperate. But these flowers and leaves I think look beautiful. Now in Mel's layout, it goes in a diagonal from the lower left up to the top right, which is what I just realised as I was playing with those. So I'm like, right, let's get back on track here. So you can see I'm just tucking things into those layers. It does take me a little while, and I have cut out a fair bit of this because I was quite indecisive. And I do muck around with things a lot. But these are so pretty. I just wanted to get all of them on the page. I still have some more left, so I'm sure I'll find a use for them somewhere. So you can see I'm still just playing with these, trying to get them in the right place. I do get there in the end. So you can see I'm trying to get the ones in the right hand working, and they're not. So I'm like, right, I'll give up on that. I'm really happy with the placement of these 2 on the photo, so I'm going to do that. Because of that pom-pom trim, I did decide to add some foam to my background rather than to my photo, so that way I knew it was in exactly the right place. So I'm going to stick these 2 flower and leaf clusters onto my photo. You saw I flipped my photo over and actually used sticky tape to attach the other one that I've got there. And there we go. Really happy with those 2. I'm going to try... Oh no, I'm going to add another layer here. I just felt like I needed something else. So I've just used a pencil to mark where I want that cut, and I'm going to stick it together. But I stick it together and then I'm like, nope. I pull it apart again because I wanted some extra dimension here. So I'm just going to grab some cardboard and add a layer of that in between. And that is my photo layer done. And I think I stick that down next. Oh no, I'm gonna play a bit more and then get incredibly frustrated because my photo keeps moving. Alright, so I have pulled out the stickers from this collection. Oh, isn't it beautiful? I love it. And it goes beautifully with my dress. So I'm actually dressed up for a day at the races, I think. Yes, the day at the races. I just dropped my kids off with my sister, and hubby and I were heading off to celebrate a friend's birthday. So I was feeling pretty good, and I snapped this photo just before we got into the car. And yeah, I can't believe how well these florals go with my dress. I'm going to stick my photo down now. You can see I'm just adding the glue straight to that foam because I knew that obviously I wanted to stick it to the foam. Using one of my weights. So I've got all of this stuck down, I think, and now I pulled out some more embellishments, and I've got these clear stickers from this same collection that I'm going to add in here. I love the dark blue, the pops of the dark blue. I'm going to add in a few of these. Sorry if you can hear that now. Someone's dogs, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to be friends, I don't know. Right, so these big blue flowers are from the digital embellishments. And I've printed those out as well, obviously. I'm just going to add those in as a couple of layers. I love what that adds to the page. So I'm going to muck around up here a little bit, and I cut most of this out because I muck around for ages up here trying to get this just right. I'm happy with that. Add that blue in there. And I think I'm going to go back in and glue everything. Yeah, so now I'm going to glue everything in that I didn't already have glued down. And then I've come back in with some more of these clear stickers. So I did add an extra embellishment cluster up to the top left-hand side of my photo there. Mel didn't have that on her original layout that I can remember. Hang on, I'll have a quick look at it. No, she's done more from the bottom left of the photo up to the top right, and I couldn't help myself. I had to just keep adding things. Adding in another of these leaves. I'm going to use these two straight on my photo, two little word strips. One says anything is possible, and the other is something else. Can't remember. Something about beautiful dreams, creating beautiful dreams, or something like that. I'm going to pop these two up on foam and pop those straight onto my photo. And then, so I kind of feel like the bottom left-hand side of my page is missing something. It feels a bit naked. So I am going to come back in with something in just a minute. I stick these guys down. That is the SpiegelMom Scraps Big Mama foam tape. I mentioned that in one of my videos recently, and I did see that there's a sale on the adhesives, I believe. So if you haven't got some, grab some. I added some enamel dots and little brass butterflies, and here I go with one more of these florals. I'm just going to add that onto the corner there, add my adhesive on two sides, and then trim off the excess. Oh, I forgot I did this. So I've gone back in and I'm ruffling up all the edges, and I'm just getting some little foam dimensionals here and just layering those under. Now they're only stuck on one side. I haven't stuck the other side. Don't feel like I need to. And then my final touch is some gold mist. I do need to go back in and add my journaling, which I think I'm going to do maybe on the left hand side between like where that top cluster ends, just a little bit there, or maybe I'll do it on the blue heart paper down the bottom underneath the gold florals. I haven't decided yet. That's why I haven't done it. So yeah, some gold splatters, and that is going to call my page done. Here you go. I'm going to give you a look at the at Mel's page as well. There you go. Make sure you check out the Cut to You HQ group. Check out the blog. Make sure you follow all the things. I hope you're having a fabulous International Scrapbooking Day, whatever it is you're doing. Most importantly, I hope that you get 5 minutes to scrap. As always, thank you ever so much for choosing to spend your scrappy time with me. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please make sure you drop them in the box below. And otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends.